What Canada just announced for 2026 will change the future of every international student. Higher requirements, new rules, and a completely redesigned study permit system. If you're planning to study in Canada, this update could make or break your application. Welcome to Canada Visa, where today's update brings one of the biggest announcements international students have seen in years. Canada has officially revealed its brand new study permit regulations for 2026, and these changes are already making headlines around the world. From tougher eligibility rules to new financial requirements, redesigned work policies, and major changes to how institutions are classified, the entire system is being reshaped. If you're dreaming of studying in Canada, planning your application, or already preparing documents, what you're about to hear could completely change your next steps. This is more than just an update. This is a major shift in how Canada will welcome future students, and every applicant needs to understand what's coming. One of the biggest changes introduced for 2026 is a redesigned eligibility framework for study permit approval. Under the new system, applicants will face a two-step verification process that includes stronger financial checks, identity verification, and proof of genuine academic intent. The government states that this approach will significantly reduce fraudulent applications and fake acceptance letters, issues that have become increasingly common over the past few years. This means that students will now need to demonstrate financial stability more clearly, show reliable documentation of tuition and living expense payments, and provide additional proof that they genuinely intend to study in Canada rather than use the study permit as a pathway to permanent residency without following academic requirements. Another major update is the new financial requirement formula. Beginning in 2026, the cost of living requirement for study permit applicants will be adjusted every year based on Canada's cost of living index. Instead of a fixed amount that remains unchanged for long periods, the required funds will now automatically increase or decrease based on inflation. For example, if inflation rises, the proof of funds requirement will increase accordingly, ensuring students have enough money to live comfortably and avoid financial hardship. The government insists this change is necessary to protect students from arriving unprepared and struggling with the high cost of rent, transportation, food, and other living expenses in Canada's major cities. In addition to financial changes, the 2026 regulations introduce new rules regarding designated learning institutions, commonly known as DLEs. Under the new system, DLIS will be categorized into different tiers based on student support services, graduation outcomes, job placement rates, and compliance with immigration regulations. Students who apply to high-tier institutions may experience faster processing times and added benefits, while those applying to lower-tier institutions could face longer wait times or more documentation requirements. This tiered system aims to ensure that students are choosing reliable and high-quality institutions rather than private colleges that have been criticized for overcrowded classrooms, insufficient resources, or lack of real academic support. With these changes, the post-graduation work permit program is also being updated. Many international students choose Canada due to the ability to work after graduation, but the government wants to ensure this pathway remains fair and sustainable. Beginning in 2026, the length of the post-graduation work permit will depend more clearly on the type of program and institution the student is enrolled in. Students at top-tier universities and colleges offering government-approved programs may continue to receive up to a 3-year work permit. However, students attending certain private or unaccredited programs may receive shorter work permits or may no longer be eligible. This change will encourage students to select programs that genuinely lead to skilled employment and reduce the number of students who enroll in low-quality programs solely to gain work permits. Another important update involves off-campus work rights. In previous years, Canada temporarily allowed students to work more than 20 hours per week due to labor shortages. But starting in 2026, the government will introduce a standardized work limit system. Students will still be allowed to work part-time during classes and full-time during scheduled breaks, but the weekly work limit may return to 20 hours, unless the program specifically qualifies for extended work hours. This change has been introduced to ensure students prioritize education and avoid dropping or failing courses because of excessive work commitments. The government emphasizes that the primary purpose of the study permit is education, not full-time employment. In addition, the new regulations include stronger housing-related requirements, especially for younger students. Schools will need to demonstrate that they can provide or arrange safe housing options for incoming international students, particularly those under 18 or those joining programs in high-demand cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and Montreal. Some institutions may need to guarantee housing availability before issuing acceptance letters. This measure came after thousands of students reported difficulties finding accommodation, with many ending up in overcrowded or unsafe living situations. The government hopes this update will ensure students have stable housing arrangements before they even land in Canada. Another big change is the introduction of a student experience dashboard. This new online platform will allow students to check the performance ratings of various institutions, including feedback from current and former international students. It will show data such as graduation rates, job placement statistics, work permit eligibility, and overall student satisfaction. The government believes transparency will help future students make more informed decisions and avoid institutions that overpromise but underdeliver. This dashboard aims to address the growing concern around misleading marketing by some institutions targeting international students. One of the most talked about updates is the new requirement for mandatory orientation and settlement programs. Beginning in 2026, all international students will need to attend a government-approved orientation session, either online or in person, before arriving in Canada or shortly after landing. These sessions will include information about student rights, housing standards, workplace laws, academic expectations, and how to avoid scams. The government hopes this will prepare students better for life in Canada and reduce the number of students who fall victim to fraud or exploitation. For family members of international students, major changes are also coming. Spouses of international students will still be allowed to apply for open work permits, but eligibility will now depend heavily on the type of program the student is enrolled in. Only students in master's, PhD, or certain high-demand undergraduate programs will be eligible for spousal work permits. This change aims to ensure that work permits are aligned with Canada's labor market needs and prevent the system from being misused. Processing times are also expected to improve. The government is introducing new digital verification systems, artificial intelligence tools for document analysis, and secure communication channels between institutions and immigration services. These technological upgrades aim to reduce delays, detect fraudulent documents faster, and provide quicker updates to applicants. While the government acknowledges that the transition may cause short-term delays, they anticipate the system will become significantly faster and more reliable in the long run. Despite these many changes, Canada continues to emphasize that international students are highly valued and play an important role in the country's economy, research, and cultural diversity. The government states that these updates are not meant to discourage students, but to create a more stable and transparent system that benefits everyone. They want to ensure that students who come to Canada receive a high-quality education, have access to proper support, and are not taken advantage of by institutions or employers. At the same time, they aim to maintain a system that is fair to Canadian citizens and ensures that resources like housing and healthcare are not overwhelmed. As we move closer to 2026, students around the world will need to prepare early. Applicants will be expected to gather stronger financial documentation, choose institutions carefully, and stay up to date with new policy announcements. Those planning to apply should begin researching programs, calculating updated proof of funds requirements, and ensuring their documentation meets the new verification standards. It will also be crucial to avoid immigration consultants who promise easy approvals, guaranteed visas, or shortcuts that do not follow official procedures. The new regulations are designed to detect fraud more effectively, which means that genuine applicants should always use transparent legal pathways when applying. For many students, the dream of studying in Canada remains alive and strong. These new regulations may bring challenges, but they also bring opportunities for those who are well prepared and committed to their education. The government continues to promote Canada as a world-class destination for international students, offering excellent universities, diverse communities, and a pathway toward meaningful career development. Students who plan ahead, meet the requirements, and choose high-quality programs will still have a bright future in Canada. As Canada prepares to roll out these major study permit changes in 2026, staying informed is more important than ever. Whether you're planning to apply soon or guiding someone through the process, understanding these updates will help you make the right decisions at the right time. We'll continue bringing you the latest news, updates, and trusted information to help you navigate your journey toward Canada. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next update. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay connected.